as we say hello, Justin Kutcher alongside former MLS midfielder Michael Lahoud. And Michael, we have seen a lot of this Wrexham team. They came back in that target time score against Como. Ever since then, they've been a different team and a dominant team.
Well, TST 77 is prime time on Peacock, and they're headlined by this Wrexham team. They've been an attacking force, and they really found themselves in that target score time against Como. But tonight, they go up against the comeback kicks of Jimmy Conrad's team.
Well, this Conrad and Beasley United team, it's a team that you know very well.
Headlined by Jimmy Conrad himself, former teammate of mine. They have some MLS legends in their ranks. Keep an eye on the likes of Dwayne De Rosario. This guy can bring magic in his boots.
All right, well, I tell you what, the crowd is already here, ready to go. They cannot wait. Wrexham has become a fan favorite. We'll have kickoff and starting lineups when we come back.
There is no slide tackling, no offsides, and we play 20.5, followed by target score time. At the end of the second half, we see the target score by a 1 to lead the score count. The first team to reach the target score wins. For target score time, a player from each team every 5 minutes. The kickoff kids for tonight's game are presented by Blue Cross and C. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina is proud to be the official healthcare insurance partner of.
We are back here in Cary, North Carolina, TST knockout rounds. And it's Wrexham against Conrad and Beasley United. For more on this game, let's say hello to Katie Witham.
Well, Justin, I just had a chance to speak with player coach Jimmy Conrad to ask him how is his team prepared for this matchup against the Wrexham Red Dragons. And he told me they actually went back as a group and watched the broadcast of their first matchup against Como. He really liked what Como was able to do to Wrexham, specifically the way that they could spread out the field. They all were talking about how they can implement that in this game. He also singled out Lee Trundle. He said that's a guy that gives them an extra dynamic. We want to be close to him at all times. Maybe even he himself will man mark him. But he said the last thing that I told my team before we came out to warm up was, look, guys, we've been down 2-0 in this tournament. Do not get too caught up in what the score line is. It's going to come down to whoever is playing with the biggest heart.
Well, I thought he was going to say he really liked Michael's commentary, but I guess I was mistaken. 7v7 to 20-minute halves. There's no offsides, no throw-ins. Every game ends in the target score time. You know these rules by now. You love these rules by now. Our starting lineups are brought to you by UFOS. Mark Howard in net for Wrexham. Chris Konopka for Conrad and Beasley, and who else you looking at?
Oh, I'm keeping an eye. Yes, we talk about the two strikers, but the supporting cast, the two Brazilians, Lucas Roque, Ricardo Cavallo, they've really got on the score sheet, gotten going for Conrad and Beasley United. And for Wrexham, it's the play of George Boyd. A lot of good things have come off his right boot.
All right, let's get things going. What a great crowd on hand here on this Friday night. They're even starting to wave early. Jimmy Conrad, the player coach, wearing number 12 for Conrad and Beasley United. Conrad and Beasley in blue, Wrexham in red.
You can already see Conrad and Beasley United going for that direct approach, trying to isolate Dwayne Rosario 1v1 with Butler.
On the other end, this will be a foul against the man that I'm going to call the Shaq of the TST. Lee Trundle. This guy's become a fan favorite. He's a goal-scoring machine. He posts everybody up.
He has a little bit of afters as well. Not afraid to mix it up, and clear-cut foul. Little elbow in the back. And that's going to be the matchup to watch tonight. If Trundle could get the better of Conrad, then there will be news headlines across Wales. But if Conrad can get the better of Trundle, well, you'll be seeing it on social media.
So wait, it'll be news across Wales, but not on social media? Vice versa will be social media?
Well, Jimmy is social media. Go follow him on Twitter.
You know, I thought what Katie said in her report that Jimmy Conrad went back and looked at the footage, the tape from the game Wrexham against Como. Como got off to that great start. They led 2-0, but it was Wrexham who scored 3 goals in target score time. Do you think Wrexham is a different team, plays differently than what they played in the first 2 halves against Como?
Absolutely. They figured it out early, and in that game, they started out with Lee Trundle as a lead striker, but Como nullified Trundle, really getting players around him.
Here is Trundle playing it out. Trundle gets it back, loves to go to that left foot. Against Conrad, slips. Jarvis. Mark Carrington gets the start. Here's Trundle inside, gets taken down, and we're going to have a penalty.
Lee Trundle, the pillow feet, wrong-footing defenders, and I think that is a clear-cut foul. And it's Lucas Roque, because he comes from behind. That's why the referee sees it. Maybe the referee has a different angle on that, but if you come from behind, most referees are going to call that. Yes, he gets a bit of the ball, but he gets the man as well. And credit to Trundle, he's one of the biggest players in this tournament. He sells that for a penalty kick.
It looks like it's going to be George Boyd to take the PK. Konopka in net. Boyd puts Wrexham up 1-0 here in the 4th minute.
Wrexham picking up where they left off in their previous match. As George Boyd, calm, cool, and collected, waiting for the goalkeeper, Chris Konopka, to go to his left and slots it into the opposite corner.
So a good start here for Wrexham, leading 1-0. As this ball goes all the way to the keeper, Mark Howard has to look up into that sun.
And up until that moment, Jimmy Conrad had done a good job marking Lee Trundle. And already the physical matchup between the two, referee spotting something on Trundle.
A yellow card against Trundle here in the 5th minute.
Now with that yellow card, that makes it interesting, because now it forces Lee Trundle to play a different way. He wants contact, he wants to invite contact, and he has to be a bit more careful.
Hunter Gorski rips the shot, gets through, and the shot goes wide from point-blank range. Dwayne Rosario just missed it from point-blank range.
I think when this shot goes through, Dero was shocked at how open he was. And that left side of the goal was wide open. I don't know why he didn't go that way. But Howard, excuse me, what a save.
This one is just sent high by Daniel Jarvis. And Jarvis says, hey, that's my bad.
Bit of a miscue from Jarvis.
How about the first 5-6 minutes of this game?
This has that big game atmosphere. Look at the crowd. It's prime time. It's the sort of matchup that these fans have come to see.
It's a Friday night. You can't ask for better weather. That little chest pass right there by Trundle. Boyd has the goal on the PK. Trundle tries to play it out wide. Now Trundle inside. Goes down, and this is off the crossbar. But we're going to have a whistle first, as Conrad had gone down. So that would not have counted anyway.
So far, Lee Trundle leading this game in tackles and bodies on the ground. Bit of a miscue. Both Conrad Beasley players colliding with each other.
Scott Butler will play it back to Mark Howard. Howard, the long ball. Jimmy Conrad, the player coach, has that tough matchup. Here is De Rosario again. A nice fake. De Rosario, extra dribble, and we're tied at 1. You said to watch out for that guy.
MLS fans will remember not just that celebration, but the name, Dwayne De Rosario. D-Ro played as a striker attacking mid. Just that scoop to his left. He's waiting for the defender to commit. And so many of his goals have come from him posting up or either going to his left. And he's a smooth operator. And when he sees Howard coming off his line, he wants to bait him in, and he rounds him. And when he rounds him, there's only one thing on his mind, and that's to slot it in for the tying goal.
The 2011 MLS MVP. Now Trundle plays it out. And this shot, nice save by Konopka.
It's good work from Chris Konopka. That ball went through traffic. Not an easy thing to do.
Dan Jones, the one who fired the shot. Trundle. This should be a corner kick. Jared Mond. Now a free kick. 1-1 here in the 8th minute.
And Justin, you can already hear a bit of a buzz in the crowd. Fans really murmuring. And I think they know that they have a game on their hands and they're ready to be entertained.
Daniel Jarvis quickly gets it in. Jones back to Jarvis, down low. Trundle trying to get back to that left. And this will go out. That'll be a free kick here for Conrad and Beasley. Let's go down to Katie.
I'm here with Dwayne De Rosario, and D-Ro, I've got to say, when you got that second opportunity, there was no way you were not putting it in the net. Walk me through what you saw.
Yeah, well, the defender bit towards the left, and the space opened up towards my left, and I took it, faked the keeper, and the only job I had to do was slide it home, and thankfully I did. I have to make up for that miss I had right before that.
Well, you did make up for it because we saw the signature D-Ro celebration, the goal celebration afterwards. We're always going to see it.
Yeah, I always like to do it. It's my shake and bake celebration for all the Metro Housing kids. That's how I represent.
Hey, more shake and bake to come. Appreciate the time.
Sweet, thank you.
What a rip. Just off the post there. I believe it was Scott Butler.
I think Butler is about to do the Welsh shake and bake. If that ball went in, because he absolutely cannoned that.
Konopka. Here's Trundle. Headed away by Mond. Butler will let this one go down. You know, it's funny. You're obviously a former MLS player, a world-class soccer player. These guys are world-class soccer players. Fans out there, the one knock you've ever heard about soccer is there's not enough scoring. If you don't appreciate the game, you don't realize how beautiful it is. But this 7v7, it makes this beautiful game even so much more exciting because of what we're seeing here in the first 10 minutes.
Remember when we did our first game and got to see, I think, the U.S. women's team go up against St. Word FC, and you asked me, what can fans expect? I said, there will be goals. Yes. Right now, goals are coming in. This is why you come to watch TST 7v7. It's not just to see good technical soccer, but it's to see goals, and goals of the highest order.
Konopka comes out to play it. Aaron Mond. Here's De Rosario. Out of bounds, and it will stay Conrad and Beasley ball.
And with the subs, we've seen teams sub in and out. Keep an eye on the substitution pattern. Whenever Dwayne De Rosario goes onto the field, Jimmy Conrad's coming up right next. I think that's to keep that veteran presence and veteran balance with this group.
Nick Bessler's in. He'll take the corner. Retired from the MLS last year after 7 years. The header. It goes all the way to the keeper, Mark Howard. Here's Jimmy Conrad coming out wide. Bessler the shot, and he's able to sneak it through. Nick Bessler puts Conrad and Beasley United up 2-1.
And this goal really comes out of nowhere. Jimmy Conrad finds Nick Bessler. And we've seen this from so many teams. When you don't put pressure on the ball, why not have a shot? And this ball squeezes in at the near post. Mark Howard will be kicking himself for not making a better save, but so much power, so much accuracy, and that ball is swerving towards the post. And I think Howard pushes it in off the post.
Jimmy Conrad gets the assist. Now we've got the corner kick here. Carrington for George Boyd.
And this is going to be something new for Wrexham. They're being pressed higher up the field. In a couple of their matches, I think the last team to press them a bit more was Como. Como went high press them. As soon as they got broken down, they went back in a low shell.
Lewis Lloyd. And it's going to stay Wrexham ball. And a foul called against George Boyd. And let's go down to Katie.
Well, Lee, when you were out there on the field, it seemed like there was definitely a target on your back after your performance so far throughout this tournament. Now you've got a yellow. Do you have to alter or change what you're doing?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much, but I just a few touches to it. But you just got to go out and play the game as normal. You know, you can't worry about that. You've got a yellow card. You just got to go out and play the way you play. And, you know, hopefully the chances will come.
The chances are coming. This is very much a back-and-forth game right now. What have you seen? Break it down for me.
Yeah, I think it's two good sides, you know, and both of them want to attack. Both of them want to go forward, and have got players that can hurt the other team. So, you know, it makes for an exciting game.
It absolutely is. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love hearing from our big man, our Shaq of the TST, Lee Trundle. And he's so gracious with his time with Katie on the sidelines. But here his team is trailing 2-1, the 14th minute, and the pressure continues. We just saw a nice save by Mark Howard. Howard now able to control it and give his team a little bit of time.
And that was an important save on Alex Zajang. Conrad Beasley United doing a good job of getting defenders, maybe one defender getting an attack. On the second goal by Nick Bessler, it was Jimmy Conrad advancing in attack and then finding Bessler. On that occasion, it was Alex Zajang getting in advance of Dwayne De Rosario.
David Jones, the player coach for this Wrexham team. Jimmy Conrad, the player coach for Conrad and Beasley United. Butler tried to get it in to Lloyd. And Lloyd now corrals it back to Butler.
With Wrexham being down by one, it's not furthest forward.
Ricochet rebound and covered up by Konopka.
It's good hands from Chris Konopka to smother the chance. George Boyd was on site and ready to pounce. Boyd has already shown that in the box he's got good instincts. Konopka, MLS veteran, there to smother that.
Jack Beck, De Rosario, and a goal kick.
As I was saying before, with Wrexham being down a goal, you're starting to see players, defenders, the likes of Scott Butler, going further forward, trying to press to force a turnover. When Wrexham step up their press, they've actually been very effective in creating more opportunities.
Are you seeing similarities to the way that Conrad and Beasley are playing from what we saw from Como?
Yeah, definite similarities. It's being direct. Remember with Como, they got a lot of their opportunities by going to their lead striker first, bypassing midfield. Wrexham is set up to press and create turnovers in midfield.
Lewis Lloyd trying to maintain possession, gets taken down, play on, and now he'll be called for the foul. Jack Beck went down. The sub's going to come on again. Subs come in on the fly.
It's gotten a bit chippy. And Lewis Lloyd getting the ball stuck underneath his feet, and I think that's more of a frustration foul in the end.
Rosario matched up against Mark Carrington. It's out of bounds. Rosario had the first goal of the game here for Conrad and Beasley. Conrad plays it back to Konopka. Room to maneuver for Roque. Running wide. Here it is. Up close. De Rosario misses again from point-blank range. The save by Howard. Now the counter.
And Mark Howard really keeping Wrexham in this game. Those are two chances that Dwayne De Rosario does not miss often. And how much carbon copy. He looked shell-shocked and surprised that the ball fell to him so nicely.
Unable to get a good foot on it was George Boyd. Easy pickup for Konopka.
With D-Row in this pocket of space, he makes himself available. And because that ball gets caught underneath his feet, Mark Howard's able to come off his line and come off aggressively. But keep an eye on his legs. He goes down with one right leg down to his knee and then his left leg there to make the block.
18th minute, 2-1 game. This elimination game. Hunter Gorski. De Rosario. Conrad making that run in. And this will go over the end line for a goal kick.
Wrexham have looked a different side without Lee Trundle in the team and on the field right now. There's a sense of gravitas around him. He commands so much attention from other players, which creates space for his teammates.
Berkovich is in for the first time. One of the two Americans on this roster for Wrexham. Number 3 in red. Paul Rutherford. That ball deflected out. George Boyd gets it in quickly. Jones. Carrington, step over. His shot and a save by Konopka. What a great first half of soccer we've seen here in this one. Chip, and that's going to go up and over the head of Lewis Lloyd, and a goal kick here for Conrad and Beasley.
Keep an eye on Chris Konopka. When Carrington, he steps over, he's aiming for that far post. I thought initially he was going to go near, but Chris Konopka closes the distance and the space between he and Carrington, and he's a big guy. He's about 6'6".
Now this long ball sent all the way down. David Jones trying to get it up to Lloyd. Play on, no whistle. Konopka directing traffic.
Right now, Wrexham getting stretched. They're pressing with one player because Conrad Beasley United are keeping two strikers high. It's forcing their two center backs further away from the rest of their team.
Berkovich here in the 20th minute of this first half. David Jones being hounded by Hunter Gorski. Gorski nearly took it away. It'll be a goal kick here But no, it won't, because that will be the end of the first half. A fist pump for Chris Konopka. Wrexham scored first, but 2 unanswered by Conrad and Beasley United. And we're at the half with Conrad and Beasley United leading 2-1. And you can see David Jones emotional right now, knowing you lose, you go home. You win, you're 3 wins away from $1 million.
The soccer tournament is brought to you by Ally, proud ally of TST. Do it right. By Aviation American Gin, the official gin of TST. And by UFOS, the official active recovery footwear of TST.
Back here on this beautiful night, Justin Kutcher alongside Michael Lahoud and Katie Witham on the field. And Michael, you were just saying this could very well be the match of the tournament. What we saw in the first 20 minutes was awesome. We saw earlier tonight Newtown Pride FC moving on, easily handling DMV Diplomats. Hapoel Tel Aviv defeated Far East United, so they are into the quarterfinals. The winner of this game will move into the quarterfinals. And again, 3 wins away then from the $1 million prize.
There's an intensity about this game that we haven't seen at this TST 77 tournament so far. There's a sense of purpose from both teams and a sense of rivalry, but the competitive nature of both players, both sets of players, is what I like most.
And what I love to see is you look out at this stadium, and it's full. I mean, people down along the sidelines, people in their seats. There is that buzz. This is exciting. Don't go anywhere. It's 2-1. Conrad and Beasley on top.
The soccer tournament is brought to you by Ally, proud ally of TST. Do it right. By Aviation American Gin, the official gin of TST. And by UFOS, the official active recovery footwear of TST.
Welcome back to TST. I'm joined now by the head coach and player, Jimmy Conrad. And Jimmy, you told me that you guys did a little homework on Wrexham. You had a game plan coming in. How do you feel like the first half went according to plan?
I would say that was our best 20 minutes so far. Best half. We performed. We were ready, we were prepared, and we weren't naive to their tactics. We did our homework. We have a lot of respect for Wrexham and what they're bringing to the table. They have some tremendous players, and getting to battle against Lee Trundle is a big thrill for me in particular.
Do you tweak anything here in the second?
Well, I tweaked my quad a little bit earlier.
I saw that. You got it worked out.
That's a whole different conversation. But no, we keep playing the way that we like to play, and because that's why we're here. We enjoy the game for a certain reason, and we're trying to make everybody that supports Conrad and Beasley United proud.
All right, get out there to kick off. Thank you.
Well, I believe there's been a change at keeper for Conrad and Beasley United. Hugo De Silva is now in there. What do you make of that?
I've been talking with Jimmy Conrad after this game. One of the things he said is they've changed keepers at half. They want to give everybody a chance. But make no mistake, Chris Konopka, should they need to call on him, he will come off the bench in a crisis situation.
Interesting, being up 2-1. Here's a shot ripped and turned away. Aaron Long took that shot, and a nice save by Mark Howard.
Howard's made some monster saves throughout this match so far. For a big guy, he gets down low so quickly.
Nice flick by Daniel Jarvis. Jarvis, that ball will head out.
Aaron Mount, not known for his goal-scoring exploits, but that's a good save because when that ball bounces and ricochets off of the turf, it tends to generate more speed. And for a goalkeeper, you can time your jump and time your dive wrong. Not in that case with Howard.
On one of the key guys on this team. He was one of the early gets and helped recruit other players. As this will go over the end line for a goal kick now for Wrexham.
And you're seeing a shift with Conrad and Beasley United. Oof.
That was a dangerous touch by Rutherford.
With De Silva on the field, his forte is playing out of the back. So look for them to utilize him more in possession.
What'd you think of hearing Jimmy Conrad said it's a big thrill for him to go up against Lee Trundle?
Oh, Jimmy is a connoisseur of the world's game. He knows very well who Lee Trundle is, and it's a sign of respect. And you see the afters, you see the physicality. Those are two competitive players.
Vaughn trying to go with the heel pass. Cleared away. Here is Trundle. Trundle. He's very nimble for somebody his size. Deceptively nimble.
He's got a bit of twinkle toes for the large man. It's like he's dancing on the dance floor.
Jarvis playing it into Trundle, plays it back. Here's Carrington. Jones looking for Trundle. Jarvis. That's going to go out. Here's the kick.
The difference for Wrexham that I'd like to see them maybe shift their style of play. Yes, you want to get the ball into Trundle. Errant pass in the end. You want to get the ball into Trundle as quickly as possible. But with Conrad and Beasley United sitting so deep towards their own goal and crowding around Trundle, I'd like to see more players take shots from distance. I think they lead this competition with shots from distance and goals from distance.
Take a shot from distance, could lead to a potential rebound. Again, Hugo De Silva now in net here for Conrad and Beasley United. Conrad nicely done, taking it away, brings it up the field. Back with the left, and there's Howard.
That was Jack Beck doing well to back into a pocket of space.
Loose ball inside, and there's a save by De Silva. Another one. Hugo De Silva coming in, making some saves, and now that left-footed shot by Jones goes wide.
Are you kidding me? With these back-to-back saves from De Silva, makes himself big.
Wow.
And not giving up on that play. His arms are outstretched, and that is the difference between that ball sneaking in. Gets down low quickly, but he's shifting across, and that left arm and really left shoulder is what denies that goal.
Nico Cavallo had a great chance. Trundle just lets it go over his head. He thought somebody might be making a run.
I think it's the first time we've seen Lee Trundle probably express a little bit of frustration in terms of service into him. A lot of things have gone his way, and rightfully so for the Wrexham legend.
25th minute. Di Rosario with the left, and that's smothered by Howard. Quickly on the run, leads Cavallo. Cavallo down the line. And that touch by Liam Grisham, a little too strong.
Now we're seeing a bit more balance to Wrexham's attack. Getting players wide. Stretching the field. You know, Lee Trundle is going to be your focal point to stretch vertically. Now you need width and wide players to isolate themselves to go 1v1 on the dribble.
Here's Grisham. The overlap. Inside, cleared away by Cavallo. And now the left foot of Mark Carrington deflected over the end line, and it will be a goal kick.
This is class defending from Hunter Gorski all the way. He knows he's beat, but that last lunge blocks the shot and creates the corner kick.
Another corner kick now. Carrington asking for it, saying, hey, just give it to me. I'll set things up. He gets his wish. Carrington again, the safety net. Trundle. Cleared away, and Howard comes out of the box to play it. The long ball all the way, the header, but nobody's on the far post. Nico Cavallo, if he was there, would have had a great scoring opportunity.
What a ball from Howard. The range, the accuracy.
Switching fields here, Alex DeJean. Card Cavallo. Nice cut. Nice run by Chandler Hoffman. Poked away by Carrington.
And Chandler Hoffman just subbed on. He's a left-footed player whose natural gift is finishing in close quarters.
Trundle able to get it. And now he goes down. All of Wrexham wanted a whistle. They don't get it.
Surprised that that wasn't called. That is a clear slide tackle. A meaty challenge with a clear slide tackle. That should have been a foul. Herman coming across. He leaves his legs.
Scott Butler. It gets all the way through to the keeper, De Silva. 29th minute, 2-1. Knockout rounds. Winner moves on to the quarterfinals. DeJean will play it back. Jimmy Conrad. A lot of dancing. Nice pass. Hoffman. Turnover. And we're going to have a foul as Scott Butler went flying.
Butler was trying to get out of the way from the late Nick Beasler challenge. I like how the referee's officiating this. He's letting the game play. He's letting contact go.
Jones out. There's the shot and a save. George Boyd with the left. The save by De Silva again. Some good opportunities here in the second half for Wrexham, but they've been unable to punch it in.
The speed at which this ball comes in. First time shot from Boyd. And that was a laser beam headed towards the near post. But De Silva has made reaction saves like this. And when you're a second half goalkeeper coming in, getting that first save is all important to boost your confidence, to get that feel of the game.
It's almost like in football, getting hit that first time. Okay, we're playing live.
Guys, it's no surprise that Hugo De Silva in goal is standing up the way he is to some of these big-time shots. You know, the 33-year-old has experience playing in both Brazil and the U.S., but specifically has recently suited up for the Brazilian indoor national soccer team.
You could tell those close shots that he's been facing has certainly paid off here in this 7v7 tournament.
He's deceptively agile for his size. He's a big guy. At first glance, you wouldn't think he's able to get towards some of the shots to make some of the saves, but credit to him. He's really been a standout in the second half.
A 2-1 lead. Conrad and Beasley United. Hoffman has an opening, takes the shot with the left, and the rebound is covered up by Howard.
Chandler Hoffman had options on either side of him, opts to go for the shot. This is the correct decision when you're given time and space, but a bit of a daisy cutter right into the hands of Howard.
Jones gets it back. Now a turnover. Here comes an opportunity, the 1v1, and it's a goal. Chandler Hoffman with the left makes it a 3-1 game.
And this is the benefit of keeping a striker high. Transition opportunities. Mark Howard showing frustration, and rightfully so. Wrexham get caught in possession. They play right into a pressing trap. And that first and second touch, he's moving away from goal. He picks his head up, and that makes all the difference. Howard knows that he's in no man's land. He comes out, but because Hoffman is moving away from goal, he has him exactly where he wants him, and he picks out the near post.
Lee Trundle has gone out. So now Wrexham will try to play a little bit differently here, down 2 goals in the 33rd minute. This header by George Boyd results in a goal kick, and again, we saw this Wrexham team down 2 goals against Como, went to target score time, they came back and win. Now you're down 2 goals against Conrad and Beasley United. Can they get one back before that target score time starts?
I think because of that experience, they won't panic, they won't be two-phased. Their most influential player in Lee Trundle is on the bench right now, but they have some players who can step up, especially this man right here, Lois Lloyd.
This will be Wrexham ball. A long ball being sent for Dan Jones. Good job getting back, heading that one away.
And that was Jack Beck, who got the assist on that goal. He's a young player. And think of what this experience playing against a team like Wrexham will do for his confidence and getting an assist.
Grisham. Lewis Lloyd tries to chip it in, cleared away. David Jones will let his keeper Mark Howard reset. Butler, the cross, the far post, the header, loose, and there's the goal! George Boyd puts it again.
hear the stampede because Wrexham, we've seen this before, that never say die attitude from the Red Dragons and George Boyd. It had to be George Boyd. Beautiful ball to the back post for Lois Lloyd, and the unselfish play from Lloyd to redirect that back across the face of the goal. De Silva has to go down, mistimes his jump, and Lloyd is there again to bundle that home to get Wrexham back in the game.
And how about that long cross by Butler to set the whole thing up?
It's a peach of a pass. The weight of it and the right sort of service. It's almost like being on the golf course and using the right club. He used his pitching wedge on that to float it in for Lois Lloyd.
Grisham Jones trying to get by Beck. It's amazing. You score that one goal, make it a one-goal game, and things just get so interesting. 36th minute. Wrexham scored first. 3 unanswered by Conrad and Beasley United. And now another one. Scott Butler. As Wrexham's making a substitution, thought maybe he'd wait for that sub to come on. He didn't. That sub is Merkovich, who's been really good. One of the 2 Americans, has made a big impact for Wrexham.
Been impressed by their contributions, he and Nico Cavallo. Goals do wonders for young players' confidence, and both of them, since they got their goals, they've been more of a factor in the offensive end.
Jones tried to chase it down, could not. It was a good thought, a good look, unable to connect though. 37th minute, 1-goal game, elimination game.
Since Wrexham have played with wider players stretching the length of the field, they've been more dangerous. It stretches Conrad and Beasley United. It makes their defenders and center backs have to go out wide in uncomfortable areas, and it creates a 1v1 matchup for the likes of George Boyd.
Looking inside, stepping up, Butler takes it away. Here comes Merkovich. He gets bumped off. That'll be a foul, and that's probably going to be a yellow card. It is a yellow card against Alex DeJean.
Sometimes when this ball comes to the sideline, it's about getting there first, getting that extra touch. Ooh. And that's a meaty challenge. And DeJean had to make that foul, because if not, Merkovich is going in, getting that touch, and turning towards goal.
Merkovich now taking the free kick. Swings it over. Jones. Jones has an opening, almost like a pick was set by the referee. Boyd. David Jones. Working hard. They'll play it back to Howard here in the 38th minute. Turnover the other way, the counter headed away initially. Here's De Rosario, has 1 goal already. De Rosario trying to make the move, takes the shot, and misses.
And that's been a good battle between Dwayne De Rosario and Scott Butler. I think Butler's been the one to make a real difference. Not just in that assist that he had, the beautiful back post cross, but the intensity at which he's maintained in the second half.
Silva calls off. Everyone says, I got it. It's a very different Wrexham team when you take Trundle off the field. And this is when they made their comeback against Como. George Boyd, as we see De Silva grabbing the ankle.
I think De Silva going for a bit of time wasting, and George Boyd has every right to go for that, but if you go and put your leg in, you have to be wary of the timing of that. It's just a foul. Not much in that. De Silva will milk every second of his time on the clock.
We'll see if there's any stoppage time added here for the second half. What a game we've had thus far. 3-2, Conrad and Beasley United leading Wrexham. De Silva, a long ball. Berkovic. A 50-50 ball, won nicely by George Boyd.
You can sense a bit of anticipation in the crowd. Wrexham really pushing the envelope, trying to find that all-important tying goal.
Gonna have 1 minute of stoppage time here in the second half. Little heel pass by Boyd, doesn't get through. Carrington tries to make the move, has it taken away. Jones over to Butler. Butler will take a shot from distance, and that, I believe, will be a corner kick, although it doesn't matter, corner or whatever, it's the same thing.
Wrexham will not want this whistle to blow. They've been on the front foot, and if you're Conrad and Beasley United, you can't wait to get in and get a breather. A lot of their players look labored, being under pressure.
Trying for the header was Lewis Lloyd. He can't chase this one down. You can see the sense of urgency on the side for Wrexham. Howard. Is there just a little bit left here before the whistle is blown? Carrington. Lloyd. Boyd steps over. And that's going to do it. 3-2. As we go to the target score time. Does Wrexham have another target score time comeback in them? This an elimination game against Conrad and Beasley United. It is our target score time coin toss brought to you by soccer.com. Lee Trundle out there with Dwayne De Rosario. We saw on this exact field Wrexham come back in target score time to beat Como. Here the target score is set. It is set at 4. The first to target score wins, and a player is removed every 5 minutes until we hit that target score. With, I don't know if it's a full moon or a new moon, but a beautiful moon looming over here in Cary, North Carolina. This has been fun, and this is setting up to be awesome.
I've been entertained, and I know that we've been sitting here with big smiles on our faces. And the fans, they've been treated to a competitive matchup for Wrexham. What is going to be key? You have no plan B. You have to get that first goal. Against Como, it was getting that first goal early that changed the momentum. Como looked shell-shocked. They thought that they're going to be able to squeeze the time out of the clock. that first goal now gives you belief and fight that you can go and win this game.
So, like we saw against Como, here now in this target score time, Trundle is not on the field. Do you like that play?
I do, because I think Trundle was getting a bit tired, and that's why they took him off. He didn't play as many minutes in that first matchup, and Wrexham, they have depth, and they make subs, and they're going to go for the younger, precious legs. Keep an eye on Lois Lloyd again. 1 assist to his name, and that combination between he and George Boyd has already yielded good dividends.
Mark Howard in net for Wrexham. Hugo De Silva in nets for Conrad and Beasley, and there is Lee Trundle on the bench right now, the captain for this Wrexham squad.
Hey guys, I'm also on the Wrexham bench, and I'm here with David Jones. David, as we kick this one off, what's the game plan for you in target score time?
Stay in the game, be patient, and let our fitness and quality come on top.
Appreciate the time.
David Jones, the player and coach, both teams led by player coaches, David Jones and Jimmy Conrad. In midfield, here's Carrington. Now, Merkovich plays it out wide. Dan Jones. Carrington back to Jones. All the way back to the keeper, Howard.
Wrexham doing a lot of interchanging. That front three, they're going to move in wide areas. They're going to move in behind, take advantage of this offside rule.
Goal kick here, trying to connect with Lewis Lloyd. Lewis Lloyd, as you mentioned, he's played a really, really nice tournament.
And it's been late in games. As players get tired, he has a high fitness level. As David Jones had said, Wrexham have done a good job of rotating their squad. Of even when they've been in the lead and gotten a lot of goals, they've still taken players off. And that adds up over the course of this tournament.
Lewis Lloyd not happy with that header right there as he heads it out of bounds. So the kick here for Conrad and Beasley. Mont sends it across the fields. Here's Beck. Beck takes a crossing shot! And that is covered up by the keeper, Howard.
I love that from Beck. Takes an aggressive touch to get to the end line. Picks his head up and whips in a venomous cross across the face of the goal, but Howard there to react quickest.
Conrad into the middle. De Rosario. Here's Beck again. That cross. And you can see his teammates saying, hey, settle down, settle down.
If I'm Beck, I'm pointing at him saying, get in there, because that is the service that you want. I kind of see it the other way around. Maybe that's Carvalho saying, hey, good cross, I should have been there. Because I'd be saying that to him, hey, get there, I'm setting you up, get there. We have a chance to win this game.
Win this game, move on to the quarterfinals. Daniel Jarvis has been a dangerous player for Wrexham. Here's this cross, and it's going to be over the end line by Mons. The corner kick quickly. Cavallo. Here's Jarvis. Merkovich. Playing with such confidence here.
We'll have to see that from the young Filip Merkovich, where he takes a touch, it's into pressure, but he doesn't panic. He turns away from pressure, and it almost sets up a decent look for Wrexham.
Nico Cavallo. He's playing with confidence. These two youngsters, these two Americans for Wrexham, really showing out. And here's an opportunity. Lewis Lloyd gets it blocked by De Silva.
De Silva needed to come out aggressively, and he does, and it almost throws Lewis Lloyd out. He thinks he has more time than he does. In the blink of an eye, in the flash, De Silva's there to make the save.
Butler over to Jarvis. Jarvis was trying to connect with Lloyd, and Lewis Lloyd, he thought he was going to make the run, and Jarvis would see him going the other way.
And Justin, keep an eye on the two benches. Right now, Wrexham has not made a sub. They've kept this core group intact. While Conrad and Beasley, they're making subs on the fly, trying to keep the freshness up.
We're in the 5th minute. At the 5-minute mark is when a player comes off the field. And De Silva will cover up with Lewis Lloyd right around him. Just gives his team a little breather. The target score is 4. And a foul will be called here against Dwayne De Rosario. They quickly get it in, does Wrexham. Ooh. No whistle as Lloyd was turned around. Cavallo to Lloyd. The heel pass back to Cavallo. And Cavallo racing for it. And we're going to have a penalty. Wow! De Silva was going after the youngster, Nico Cavallo.
I think the referee may have given a gift here. Cavallo takes his hand out. That's the wrong call from the referee. That is not a penalty. De Silva goes in, and yes, he lunges in, but he pulls his arms out. You can see that. Pulls his arms out. Cavallo doesn't even go down. That's a gift of a penalty.
Again, we've seen penalty kicks. We've seen one already. The first goal of the game here tonight for Wrexham came on a PK. Who will step up to take the PK? It's going to be Paul Rutherford. This could change everything. De Silva's had some huge saves. Rutherford to tie it up. He does! 3-3. Next goal wins.
Two penalty kick attempts, 2 goals in the same corner. Different goalkeeper, De Silva leaning to his left, and Rutherford gives him the eyes. He always looked in control. Keep an eye on his body language. Always looked in control of this moment. And we have a game on our hands.
We have a game on our hands, and it's now 6v6. Next goal wins this game. The winner moves on to the quarterfinals.
With the numbers being reduced to 6v6, I give the slighter edge to Wrexham in this. They have momentum with getting that penalty kick goal, but they also have the younger legs, more mobile team.
Conrad and Beasley United working it around. Using the keeper, De Silva. Beasler gets it back, and he'll play it back to De Silva. Wrexham has already had one come from behind victory in this tournament in target score time. This header across the goal, and it's cleared away by Daniel Jarvis.
That ball was headed back across. Lucas Roque was slowest to react. We've seen that a few times from Conrad and Beasley just before target score time. A little bit late to react to golden opportunities. Lets the opponent off the hook.
Hunter Gorski will get it in. 9th minute here of the target score time. Justin Kutcher, Michael LaHoo, Katie Witham with you here as the winner of this match goes on to the quarterfinals and stays alive for that $1 million prize. De Silva just taking his time. They're playing it through him, basically. He's almost like your point guard right now.
And you have confidence in him because he has good feet. He's calm, cool, and collected in possession, but this is where they can get in trouble if you try and force errant passes into dangerous spots.
They get it in quick. Cavallo takes the shot off the post. That close. Now the counter. Here's Boyd with the lefts. That's blocked. Cavallo. Rutherford, who tied it up with a PK. Nico Cavallo switches fields. Inside. It's loose. Jarvis. Little chip inside. This will be covered up and kept in by De Silva.
Keep an eye on the left boot of Cavallo. That takes a bit of a deflection, and because the defender's there, it blocks and impedes the path and the sight of Mark Howard. Howard reacts late, and will be breathing a sigh of relief that it goes off the right side of the post.
Aaron Mon comes in. Jimmy Conrad is in. Gorski. Nice touch pass. Gorski gets shoved away, and that's going to be a foul. It's not going to be a yellow, but an aggressive tackle.
These are two of the fittest players on the field, Hunter Gorski and George Boyd, and that's a clear foul. Boyd getting there, shoving him in the back with his forearm.
And a couple of subs. Nope, just kidding. 2 players go off as we are now almost 11 minutes in. 5v5. The shot, goal! Conrad and Beasley are moving on! Ricard Cavallo, the game winner!
And this goal comes against the run of play for Conrad and Beasley United. It has been Wrexham with all the momentum. And set pieces, when the game's on the line, as you see in 11v11 and in the World's Game, are the difference. Credit to the veteran experience of Jimmy Conrad. Jumping in, getting in the box, and laying it off. The left boot and the cultured left boot of Carvalho.
Wrexham, who was 3-0 in group play, was mounting a comeback again. But Conrad and Beasley United.
When that ball gets laid off, I talked about the weight of passes. That is queued up for Carvalho to lash it in. But he doesn't go for power, he goes for placement. He had beaten Mark Howard before through traffic, and because there's bodies in front of him, that's why Mark Howard reacts latest, and he's waving adios on that play, rightfully so, because he puts Wrexham out of TST 7v7.
What a game we just saw here tonight. Here in the knockout round number 1. The hug between the 2 captains there. Again, we saw an early yellow card for Lee Trundle, but they had to change the way they were playing. They couldn't play through Trundle, so he sat for late in that second half, sat for the entire target score time.
I think
Wrexham is going home, but they're going home with some new fans as well.
I think in some ways it benefited Wrexham because they were able to give a plan B and look at some of the more mobile, fresher, younger players. But in that target score time, the experience of Lee Trundle, the execution, the quality, you just think what might have been had he been on the field.
What a win. Conrad and Beasley United moving on. Look at the emotion. This Conrad and Beasley United team came together because of Jimmy Conrad and DeMarcus Beasley. They said they're just soccer nuts. They want to be involved in anything that has to do with U.S. soccer. So they put this team together. And this team is now going to the quarterfinals. Look at the smile of Jimmy Conrad. Did you see that?
He looks like a proud coach, and to some of the younger players, like a proud dad. You could tell he really wanted this game, and knowing Jimmy well, whenever there's a challenge or a mountain to climb, he wants to be that player. He wants to be that coach and that personality and presence to do the unthinkable. It's been part of his story as a professional soccer player.
So is it safe to say that there might be a tweet out there from Jimmy Conrad later?
Check your social medias, folks.
All right.
Because this guy is going to be active.
Let's check in with Katie Witham.
Well, I am here with Ricard. What a goal to seal the deal. What was it like being on the field and for you to be able to come up with such a huge moment?
It was crazy. I mean, we came with the game plan. We knew Wrexham was a really good team. So we just decided to play as a team, solid. And, I mean, I was at the right time, like the right place, the right moment, and I could score the goal. Thank you to Jimmy. Jimmy was, oh, my God. I can't believe that guy's, like, almost 100 years old. He still keep playing. Oh, my God. I wish I could have his speed, his, willingness to do everything. Oh, my God. He's unbelievable. So
I'll say you're crediting right spot, right time, but a lot of hard work that put you in that position. Yeah. You said you guys played solid. Jimmy Conrad said this game, this is the best you guys have played throughout the tournament. Do you feel like that? And what are you proud of what you guys were able to do on the field?
I'm sure this was the best game by far because you could, they were pressing us a lot. We could defend well.
Let's walk. You keep talking to me, but let's get over here so you can go put your team's name up here. Continue.
Yeah. We just came with the game plan. We need to be solid, and we knew they were going to be good offensively. So that's it. We just came to play hard, and we did it. We made it.
Came to play hard and with a whole lot of heart, and you guys are continuing to play. Appreciate the time.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to see another team put their name up there on the bracket as they move on. As Conrad and Beasley united with Jimmy Conrad, the head coach and player, pushed all the right buttons, and really you think about it, this Wrexham team got the gift, like you said, for that PK in that target score time, and all the momentum on Wrexham's side, but it was Conrad and Beasley United who were able to respond, and they're about to put it up on the board. There it is.
I just love this from the players.
See you tomorrow, TST. We'll see you tomorrow.
You're seeing what this 7v7 tournament really means. Yes, there's $1 million on the prize, but the chance to compete, the chance for a lot of players like Jimmy to come out of retirement and put the boots on one more time, and this crossover between outdoor soccer, indoor soccer, futsal, beach soccer, it's culminating right here in Cary.
Hey, Katie, I need you to ask Jimmy Conrad what the tweet's going to be.
Okay, well, a question, our first one coming from Justin Kutcher and Michael Lahoud up top. They want to know what the next tweet from Jimmy Conrad is going to be.
A lot of ice baths, a lot of massages. No, honestly, I'm excited that we have the opportunity to play tomorrow. This is a special tournament, the first year of it, so we're just trying to put our stamp on things so that we set a tradition here at TST. Excuse me.
I know that you wanted to be a part of this, right? Like, you got into this early, you created the team, you guys have done a lot. You're here to have fun, but you're also here to work, and you put in a lot of work specifically for this game. How proud are you of the guys that it played out the way that it did?
What's interesting is that, as I mentioned before the game, our group stage games, we were down 2-0 in all three of them. So when we got to halftime up 2-1, that was unfamiliar territory, everybody. We're like, what do we do now? But because we'd seen a lot of situations, we felt comfortable with adversity, and I credit to the group. We really challenged the group, me and Bees, to not get emotional, try to stay as steady as possible. This tournament things can happen so quickly. So I can't believe we're through. I can't believe we beat Wrexham. Those guys are awesome, and good representation from them, and the fans were amazing. So we're moving on. We're excited. And for Ricardo taking a shot at me for being old, shout out to all the dads out there running around with kids that are half my age, and I love it.
Before I let you go, you told me, hey, a key for us is containing Lee Trundle, and you yourself, you're like, hey, I don't know, I might get to do it. You are world soccer, man. Just what was it like for you being able to do that, and you did shut him down? Yeah,
he should be in the world's strongest. But he's a great player. He knows how to use his body, and so it's just a different type of game to disrupt his flow. When he gets going, the whole team gets going. So we knew if we just stifled it, didn't allow those easy entry balls into his feet, that the game would be a little bit easier for us and a little harder for them.
Go celebrate, and we're going to see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see everybody.
You think he's excited?
If you register on the Richter scale, his excitement level, he might be a 13 out of 10 right now.
All right, well, the reason why this team is headed to the quarterfinals in large part is because of the play of Hugo De Silva, who came in to start the second half. Our ally saves of the game. I mean, he was coming all over the place, making saves, making himself big. And, man, was he a difference maker in this one.
Well, De Silva not only offers possession in attack, but defensively, when you're up against it in this knockout round, you need your goalkeepers to come up with massive saves. He had a chip on his shoulder, and he looked up for the task, and he was the difference defensively for Conrad and Beasley United.
As the sun is setting here in Cary, North Carolina, a look at the bracket. This side of the bracket is now complete. Newtown Pride is going to play Heupel in the quarterfinals. Conrad and Beasley will play Sneaky Fox FC. That's what's going on. We've got more games coming up tonight. Hey, I hope you enjoyed it, because I know that all of us here did. This game was fun. Wrexham against Conrad and Beasley United. It was physical, it was fast, it was exciting. But guess what? Conrad and Beasley United, they beat Wrexham, and they're headed on to the quarterfinals. From Michael Lahoud and Katie Witham and our entire crew, I'm Justin Kutcher saying so long. Don't go anywhere. We've got much more soccer coming up from TST.